Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about today is what people are seeing and experiencing in everyday life when it comes to being of the prepared mind. I get sent pictures and videos and emails, and if you would like to do so, my email is in the description box below. So this first email, along with some pictures, comes from a community member, and she said that she just looked this up this morning, and the growth here in Collier County is amazing. She said Collier County, Florida, estimated 2023 population is 392,021, with a growth rate of 1.4% in the past year. And this is according to the most recent United States Census data. So the Collier County population in 1973 was 54,800. Yeah. And she also sent me this too, that the Florida Highway Safety and Motor Vehicle reports 4 fatalities in Collier County roads in 2023 with 275 crashes and 212 injuries. Yeah. And this community member, she has a tip. She said that she would like to share this with the community. She cooks rice that her dogs prefer, jasmine rice. She lets it cool and adds a quarter cup of cooked rice and 1 can of wet dog food. Store the rest in the refrigerator until needed. It saves her a ton of money on wet dog food. Thank you very much for this tip. And here's something that was sent to me about the cyber attack on Dole, the fruit company Dole. So here's something that was sent to me about that. Now, here's an email with some pictures that were sent to me from southern Michigan. She said that they got slammed by an ice storm on February 22nd. 90% of the people using consumers' energy for power are out. Hillsdale County, Michigan is under a state of emergency, and only one gas station in the county has gas, and they are running out. The next place for gas is 45 minutes away. Trees and power lines are down everywhere, and she sent me some pictures. Thank you. Here is a email from a community member who lives in the UK. She said it's broccoli, cauliflower, potatoes too. It's likely to last until May. This is about the rations that are going on in the UK. She said we have been told to eat turnips. We still have fresh apples and pears, bananas, oranges, parsnips, carrot, avocado, sweet potatoes, mushrooms for now. Plenty of soft herbs like chives available in shops, and I have rosemary in the garden. I don't buy 3 sticks of cucumbers anyway. 1 cucumber is enough, so I'm not bothered by that rationing. There isn't much of anything anymore since the pandemic in the shops. I can wait until May for salad items, though I will miss my tomatoes. Pizza places are saying they cannot cope. We are self-sufficient in things like asparagus. Jars of pickled stock is okay, as are tins of fruit and veggie. There has been shortages of frozen fruit, frozen veggies, and potatoes for a while. It's not just eggs. Meat can be hit and miss too. We have low-cost Aldi, Lidl, which is Lidl, store only, not delivering food. Click and collect available though. Small local like 7-Eleven, Spa, or Co-op, store only, no delivery. Mid-price, which is equivalent to Walmart, Tesco, Asda, was owned by Walmart at one point. Lowest quality of mid-price. Morrison and Sainsbury. More expensive is Waitrose, M&S, or aka Mark and Spencer, Booths, which is in North England, Ocado, online only. They do own brand M&S, who only have stores and don't deliver themselves. Thank you very much for this update. This is wonderful. So at least we know now what is going on in the UK. So here is a video. I was told by the community member who sent this to me that it is unconfirmed, but it's extremely interesting, and that it is.
This is a broadcast I never thought I would do. This is a broadcast that literally is concerning. There's very little other way I can put it other than that. Russia has said that they are at war with the United States. Russia has moved tens of thousands of troops into Kaliningrad. They have moved more missile launchers over into Belarus. They've moved troops into Belarus. They have moved aircraft into Belarus. They had their D-50 or whatever it is they call their AWACS plane up and operating again today.
So here's a picture that was sent to me by a community member, and this is extremely interesting. And that's all I'm going to say, but I will put the picture up, okay? Please read it. Now, here is a email from a community member. She said, everyone needs to start working together to basically expand a neighborhood watch. I agree. To take turns, keep an eye on potential at-risk places in their areas, power plants, warehouses, food distribution plants, any place that seems to possibly be a target for sabotage. Try to catch people in the act of attempting to blow up, burn, etc. I agree with you. Thank you. Now, here's an email from a community member. She said, if people decide they do not want to live in the 15-minute city, how are they going to make it? My family and I will not live in that kind of city. I live in a small town, and my family will not do this. Well, this is when it's going to come down to complying or not. Yeah. And if you don't comply, you're not going to be able to have housing. You're not going to be able to have food. You're not going to be able to have amenities. This is what's going to happen. It's not going to happen right away, because they're going to be doing like the bigger cities first, the metropolitan areas first. I'm still researching these 15-minute cities. I do, from what I have, from talking to community members and things like that, there is apparently one here in Tampa. We do know about Fort Myers now. There's a couple more of these 15-minute cities here in Florida. They're starting to sprout, if you will. They're starting to sprout up. And it's going to be a compliance type thing. And they're going to make it sound so great and so grand, and you're going to want to, live here and, have all the amenities, 15 minutes and blah, 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 blah. But there's going to be great repercussions if you do not. Now, what's going to be what's the word I'm looking for? Requirements? I do not know. This could, are they going to take certain, areas of neighborhoods and say, okay, this is going to be a 15-minute city, and then this is going to be a 15-minute city, and this is going to be a 15-minute city? I don't know yet. I'm still looking into all of this, because this is going to affect every single one of us. And, if like, say, okay, I live here and you live in the next 15-minute city, I guess we can't visit each other anymore. That type of thing. So it's, this is going to be something that it has, this has been planned out for quite some time. And, they're literally going to spring it on us, and there's nothing that we can do about it. And, we're going to have, like, okay, There's a place in Orlando that I've been going to since I was a kid. It's called Orange Lakes. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or been to it, okay? And it's kind of like its own little 15-minute city, but it's a country club. And my parents have owned a house there for, ever since I was a kid. And it's kind of like a timeshare type thing. And it's kind of like its own 15-minute city. I mean, it literally has its own Publix, its own movie theater, its own like 7-Eleven type thing, its own golf course, its own pools, its own restaurants, its own everything. You don't even have to leave there if you don't want to. I mean, literally every single amenity, and they even just within the past few years have put a water park in there now. I mean, it has its own beaches, it has everything. So, I mean, is that, what we're going to be looking into? It very well could be. I mean, that's, when I think 15-minute city, because if you've ever been to Orange Lakes, okay, or any kind of like timeshare-ish thing, down in Orlando, they have studio apartments, they have condominiums, and they have homes. And the homes are like 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a living room, dining room, kitchen. Then they have the condominiums that are they 2 or 3 bedroom now? I can't remember. It's been like 6 years since I've been there, because the last time I was there, we were there for Christmas. And it's like 2 or 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, living room, dining room, kitchen. And, I mean, you stay there for like a week or whatever, and it's really nice. But, I mean, you literally have everything right there. And within a 15-minute radius, you have Disney, you have everything right there. Okay. So that would be considered like a 15-minute city. So, you know what I mean? This is how my brain is working right now. But is there going to be requirements? Is there going to be compliance? Is there going to be repercussions? I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm still looking into all of this. Okay, commercial break. Okay, here's a picture that was sent to me by a community member. She said, sending a picture of my first loaf of bread. I'm so proud of myself, and oh my goodness, it's so good when it's still warm and buttery with honey. Oh, that looks amazing. Oh, I love it. Okay, here's a picture that I'm going to put up for you, but I'm going to read it first, okay? It says, Walmart Great Value brands are produced in partnership with Conagra Foods. If you remember, Conagra Foods, they had a whole bunch of recalls last year. This includes cheese, peanut butter, and dairy, as well as dry foods. The source of Conagra factories is in Ohio. Okay, here is a video that I'm going to put in for you that was sent to me by a community member explaining about the passengers on the plane, along with the pilot, that were heading to East Palestine.
The pilot was Sean Sweeney, along with Micah Kendrick, Kyle Bennett, Glenn Marcus Walker, and Gunter Beatty. They were all headed to Ohio to help in response efforts of an explosion of a metal factory.
We do know that at the time of takeoff, there was a front passing through in the vicinity of the accident.
NTSB is beginning its investigation of the crash. This includes getting records of the pilot and maintenance of the plane, as well as weather conditions. Investigators have already reviewed video footage from the Little Rock Airport of the takeoff and when the plane crashed.
is just about the time the smoke was rising from the ground. The video showed a front passing through, high winds, rain, blowing debris, that sort of thing.
There are 5 NTSB investigators working on getting answers about this crash. They tell us they will be here for several days until their report is complete.
And before I go, this email was sent to me by a community member, and she said in order of inflammability. So the more you go, the more pissy you get, I guess, right? She said, I used to have a boyfriend who worked for a railroad. When not in use, the trains had to be parked somewhere. Chicago used to charge so much money for train parking that it was cheaper to drive them 24/7 just to waste gas than to pay the parking fee. We have trains parked just outside of my town, and I've always wondered if they changed policy to put parking in a rural area than wasting gas. Maybe this is what is going on in California. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I really am. And it's very hard to figure that one out. So the next one says, I went on the Wayback Machine because the website america2050.org changed their name and website. It was alleged a long time ago that this was really a disguised megacity plan for UN 2030 rather than the train planning it was purported to be. I wanted to compare the Ohio accident with land that the UN may want for one of these things. The megacity region encompassed all of Ohio and a lot more of the Great Lakes, so maybe not. Then the third thing that she wanted to talk about was, on the day of the accident, my favorite crockpot show, another website which documents a real-time the wind patterns and maybe a map of Amish, not today, Satan, Amish settlements, farms, and villages. I assumed the wind would have gone west to east, but that day it went backwards and swirled around a large area, and that large area would be exactly where the Amish area is. Backwards. Well, that's weird. What the heck? Backwards. Okay. So the last one that she wants to talk about is most inflammatory of all. This interview mentions at minute 14, all right, I'll leave the link in the description box below, that a law was passed whereby if there is a disaster, people would be moved to one of these smart cities. Yeah. He did not mention what law, whose law, so that I could document it. I will leave the Rumble link. You probably don't want to put the link on YouTube. Well, most people don't know who the Kazaran Mafia is anyway. You'll probably lose your channel for good. The interviewee had to flee South America years ago or else be killed by them. Shiznat. All right. After watching this, I feel a little bit better about the world as a whole, except for the dioxin. I must do more shopping for pre-Ohio dioxin food. That is when the temps rise above freezing tomorrow. All right, what I'm going to do is, if you want this link, email me, and I will email you the link. Right on? Okay. All right, guys, that's all for this video. Okay, I will see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fear less.